So there are, as Ed is saying, incredible stories, and some of them are heroism from teachers and coaches and a janitor. And these people deserve to have their names and faces and lives known to us all. Joining me now, Haley Betancourt, a freshman who heard the gunshots and hid inside her classroom. Haley, good evening. Were you just at the vigil?
Hi. Yes, I've been at the vigil like since 2:30, since 2:30. And then I went home, and then I came back to come right now.
Well, we appreciate that, Haley. Tell me a little bit about the vigil. What was it like?
Well, I was crying the whole time, but it was really hard to take in because you hear all your friends' names, and then I lost 8 friends because of this man.
Haley, I'm so sorry. I hate, you know what, it's hard for me to even ask you these questions because I can't imagine. You're very brave to be standing up there, okay? And you're doing something to appreciate their memory. I'm sure this hasn't even sunk in for you. And I know yesterday was very, very rough. And I know when you were there, you called your mom and you called your dad, right?
Yeah, I did.
Tell me about that, honey.
Well, do you want me to start from the beginning? Like when everything first happened?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I was in my creative writing class. I was in Miss Lapel's class. I just want to say thank you to Miss Lapel because she saved my life.
How did she do that? What did she do?
Okay, so we were writing love letters because it was Valentine's Day. The class was creative writing. So all of a sudden you hear, we're just like, oh my God, what is that? And my teacher's just like, oh no, I think it's just a computer card. So at first we didn't think of anything, but then we heard it again even louder. We're just like, I don't think that's a computer card. And then all of a sudden the fire alarm rings and we're just like, oh my God. So then we go outside the classroom. The whole hallway was crowded, like you couldn't move. I was right here, my teacher was right next to me. Her classroom was right there. And all of a sudden you hear ba 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 in the stairwell, and then my teacher right away, she goes like this. She opens her classroom right away and she's like, everyone get in. If it wasn't for that, I think we could have all been dead. So thank you so much, Miss Lapel, if you're watching this. But
I'm sure she knows, Haley, and she did exactly the right thing because she probably figured out that obviously there was someone out there and the alarm had been pulled to get everyone to run out. And so then you all went back into the room, and was everybody...
Not everyone got to make it inside the room. Unfortunately, people ran out, so they couldn't make it into... Our teacher and my friends, we saved as many as we could inside the room. And then once, I don't know how fast he got up those stairs, but it felt like he got there like that. And all I could hear is bang, bang on our floor. I was on the 3rd floor, the highest floor, and I just felt like he was right there. And then we were all in there. I think there was about 16 of us in there. Like, thank God we all survived. But my friend Reed, he was all the way across the classroom, and then all of a sudden the shooter, he breaks the glass on the window to the door. He breaks it. So then my friend, he got scraped with the bullet, unfortunately, but he's perfectly fine now, thank God. But we were hiding the whole time, and it was just horrible. Everything you heard in those hallways, because the glass was broken, so you could hear everything clearly. It felt like you were right there. And then when you're there, like, all you hear is shooting downstairs. You can't even imagine what the people downstairs were going through. And then there was this kid. You could hear him all throughout the hallways. He was saying, please, please help me. Please let me in. And it was the most heartbreaking thing to do because you couldn't let him in. You couldn't help him.
Haley.
Unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just can't imagine how hard this is for all of you. I mean, I can't imagine. And I think that all of you are really strong, and I think you're going to have a long road ahead to heal. And thank goodness you have your families. And I'm curious, did you know anything about this young man? I really don't want to focus too much on him. I really want to focus on you and all of you who worked so hard to survive. But did you know anything about him?
I'm a freshman, but all my other friends who were older, they said they knew him and everything. So they said he was a little off, but like, I don't want to be mean, but they said they felt scared around him when like he was at school and everything. And that he used to work at the dollar store near me.
Yeah,
that's what they said.
Well, you know what? It's sometimes you have to trust your gut, and when someone doesn't feel right, there's a possibility that maybe he isn't, and he clearly was not.
One time I was at the dollar store, and he gave me a free balloon. He said, "Have a nice day," and I'm just like, "Oh, thank you so much." Like, when you're there, you don't just judge a person. Like, you just assume like, "Oh, it's okay." Like, he just gave me something. And you just walk away and have the rest of the day.
A strange memory to have of this person, right? It's just, it all doesn't make any sense, Haley. And you're a very brave girl, and I really wish you well. And I know you're having a hard time, and I'm so sorry about the friends that you lost. And I'm glad that your teacher was such a hero and saved all of you. And you have to remember the good things as well as the bad, and you remember your friends. And we're going to be thinking about all of you, and we thank you so much for being with us tonight, Haley, okay? You take care.
Thank you so much. They're in a much better place now, so.
You're right about that, honey.
Thank you, God that you saved the people that you saved.
Couldn't say it better. Thank you, Haley.
No, thank you.
We'll be right back.